Hi everyone, it's Rachel Kleinman from rwcrafts.com. I'm here with Hero Arts today to share with you both a holiday card and, I have to switch it up, a birthday card using this very sweet Presents Tower fancy die. I did die cut this from Hero Arts watercolor paper, and you see when it cuts, you get the whole shebang there. So there's no little pieces to manage when you are working with this die. So since it is on watercolor, I will be watercoloring, and I'm actually going to be painting mostly with my Hero Arts reactive inks today. So you see that right now I'm painting this gift with Key Lime Fizz reactive ink. When I'm painting something like this or coloring something like this, I try to stick with a trio of colors. So since Christmas colors are so distinct, the red and the green, you see I kind of mixed it up with different shades of green and red as my three colors. I did kind of cheat and throw in a fourth, which you see there in the liquid bottle. But I really do like to stick to a trio. I think that makes things look balanced and even. So you see that's what that first painted gift looks like. With the reactive inks, I am first painting more or less the paper with water first, and then I'm going in with the ink, and that just helps get a more even spread of your color as you're working through, and it also helps with the shading that we will do later. Next, I will be using the Fruit Punch reactive ink to paint some of these presents here. It is a very bright red, almost similar to the pale tomato if you speak in Hero Arts ink terms like I do. So that's the lighter red that I use. Now I'm moving on to a much richer, deeper red. This is actually a liquid watercolor from Hero Arts. It's called Strawberry. So I will be adding some of that rich strawberry to the tops of the gifts and other gift areas, again, so that no two colors are touching too much. That's always the goal with something like this here. And the great thing about watercoloring is that it's incredibly forgiving. Watch right there. Did you see how I erased some color? A corner of that present was just a little too dark for me, so I added some water on top and then just dabbed it up with a paper towel. So it's definitely handy to have any type of towel nearby when you're watercoloring. It works almost like a magic eraser, I feel like. So for the final color, I am now using Green Apple. This is a classic, rich, Kelly green. It is a must-have for your Christmas color tradition, whatever you're making. And I'm also using the Green Apple to shade the Key Lime Fizz. And I'm using a lot of water to really dilute that color. I don't want it as rich or as strong as it was for the bow that's right next to it. And I'm also adding in a little bit more Key Lime Fizz to balance everything out. So I have completed all of the shading. That bottom present there you see with the stripes, I used the same color, that is also Fruit Punch, and I just used a lot less water. So that's how you're going to get a darker shade, is less water. More water is a lighter shade. Now this die comes with that little tiny corner piece there, and I had to cut it out. This is definitely personal preference. Please don't cut it out if you feel like you're fine with it. And also with the additions that I add later, I totally could have kept that in and just covered it up. I like to do things the hard way. That's on me. I'll give you that little cheat sheet of a tip so you can skip that step. So now I'm working on the panel. I'm using the Holiday Foliage stencil. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous stencil. And of course I have to use glitter paste. It would not be a Rachel Kleinman card without some glitter paste. So I add the glitter paste there, and I will set it aside to dry as I work on some stamped images. And that was done on Shamrock cardstock. Shamrock cardstock is going to be a really, really beautiful green addition to your stash, especially for holiday card making. And look at these kitties, aren't they so cute? So these naughty kitties are actually the November clear stamp and die set of the month by Hero Studios. So if you are watching this video before, I believe, November 27th, you'll be able to grab these little kitties If you know anybody in your life that has cats, you need the stamp set and you need to make them a card with this stamp set for the holidays or for any other occasion, as you'll see later. So I did die cut them all, but I am now fussy cutting the parts that I don't want. Since we already have a whole tower of presents, we don't need to add more presents that are included in the stamps. So this is very easy fussy cutting. It's really only took me a matter of 2 minutes maybe to cut out those little pieces there, so that we can layer these little kitties all over the tower, because that's what naughty kitties do. That's what they're born to do. So I did stamp those cats also on watercolor paper just to help it match the tower. So I am painting this little tabby cat with creamsicle reactive ink, and I really diluted that color. So there's a lot of water when I pull it from my glass mat. And then I will go in with less water, more color, to do some shading around those stripes. So I am using the same color for the shading as well, just like I did for that red present that you still see there on the bottom of, well, the top of the screen, but the bottom of the present tower. Gotta get my directions right here. Sorry, guys. And for the little ears and the little nose and the little tongue mouth, I'm going in with a very light amount of taffy reactive ink. And I wanted the Christmas lights and the ornaments to match, so I used green apple for those Christmas lights wrapped around the kitty, and strawberry for the ornament that tabby cat is undoubtedly going to smash and break. Again, that's what cats do. I'm sure if you grew up with cats, you knew that the whole bottom section of the Christmas tree essentially had to be either empty of ornaments or maybe those like stuffy kind of ornaments that once the cat goes climbing in there, they will not break. So that's the spot I was telling you about the corner that I cut out. That little hunched over cat could have very easily just gone on top of that little corner piece and covered everything up. But again, I have to make things complicated so that I can give you the tips of how to make things easy and simple. That's just my job here. That's what I'm doing. So I am putting this up on foam tape, and since it's being adhered to glitter paste, I did add some Hero Arts glue to the foam tape just to make sure nothing comes peeling up where I don't want it. The sentiments in this set are very fun, very much blame the dog kind of sentiments. I'm going with honestly, I picked the sentiment because it's the shortest sentiment. I didn't want to cover up too much of my image. It says Meowie Christmas. Can't go wrong with a Meowie Christmas. So I am heat embossing it with white embossing powder, also on that shamrock cardstock. I'm sure I've said it on repeat many times before, but heat embossing is like the gateway drug to card making. It certainly was for me when I was 8 or 9 and discovered heat embossing. That was it. That was the end of it. It's just like watching magic happen right before your eyes, even with white embossing powder. It never gets old. All right, so with my butterfingers, as I drop that sentiment multiple times, I did put it up at the top, right up against the white kitty wrapped in Christmas lights. So that's the holiday version. I did promise an alternate version. Here is the Presents Tower Fancy Die in birthday form. So I changed up the colors. I did my trio of colors like I like. Teal, pink, and lime green. Sounds like colors I would use, I think. And with the cats, I made sure to cut out any part of the little cat stamp that might say Christmas or scream Christmas. So I really fussy cut those cats a lot more than the other ones so that they were more birthday appropriate. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've been inspired to use your Presents Tower Fancy Die in a different way other than for the holiday season. And bust out those watercolors. Have fun painting. Thank you again. Really happy to have you here. Bye.